G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing today? I know for once I don't have a fancy little microphone to hold today, but it's for a good reason. And the topic today, as you can see in the title of the video, is there's no shame in picking a small motorcycle, hence why I am holding the very small microphone, to prove similar things. The smaller doesn't always mean worse, okay? As we know, I ride a 471cc engine, and that's fine. There are a lot of people in the biking community that like to badmouth and talk down upon our small little bikes. So let's put that to rest with today's video. But before we get into it, g'day ladies and gents, my name is Nathan. I make videos about motorcycles and motorcycle things and motorcycle related content. If you like my content, leave a like, comment and subscribe. The channel is approaching 10,000 subscribers. We're growing slowly. We'll get there eventually. We can't rush these things. But without further ado, let's get into it. So ladies and gents, small motorcycles are heavily frowned upon by the ego riders and other riders of the liking. Why? There's a lot of people who think that you need to have the biggest number available. That's why people only buy R1s and people only buy the 1800cc cruisers and up. I'm here to tell you right now, most bikes over 250cc's are completely adequate for the road. As we've seen multiple times in multiple videos I've made, my favorite motorcycle that I've ridden so far is always going to be the MC22/MC19 Honda CBR 250Rs. Now, I know that Kawasaki makes one as well, a little 250cc sports bike. My brother used to have one. Another phenomenal motorbike. You don't need the best thing on the road, speed-wise, to have a great time. So, the Honda Rebel is a 471cc engine. A lot of people think it isn't enough to handle freeways and other things of the like. I can tell you this right now, unless the speed limit is 90 miles an hour, which we don't do in Australia anyway, our top speed limit is 110 in Victoria, and I think it's 130 in New South Wales, the Honda Rebel's top speed is 171. If you downshift and accelerate, you can still overtake people quite comfortably. You're never really going to run into a situation where, I don't have enough power to overtake. That's a load of crap, okay? Even on the 250cc sports bike, you can still overtake. Now, when I rode the Gixxer 250, which is a little thumper, she was a bit slower. She'll eventually take over the car, but it'll take a bit longer. But most times you're on the road, you're not going to need all that power to overtake someone, okay? It's really not necessary, okay? Now, the 250cc's is fine. The R15Ms, I know plenty of people who have them and ride them and love them. None of them are close enough to give me a ride, though. I only know them when I meet them at bike meets. I don't actually know anyone close enough to give me a test ride, because I would love to do a video on an R1 or an R15M, sorry. Not an R1, I've done one of those, but I'll do it again. So if you guys follow my channel and you live in Melbourne and you have an R15, let me take it for a spin. I love them. So look, most cases, a 600cc sports bike, even that is still a lot for the road, okay? Don't at me, it's true. A 600cc Super Sport is more than fast enough for the street. A CBR 650, a bit different, power delivery, is enough, okay? An XJ6, it's a detuned R6 engine, still plenty, okay? Ninja 400s, you can still ride them. People still ride R3s and love them. There's a reason why the R3 Racers are so popular. Not just because they're cheap, but because they're good bikes to ride. The Duke 390s? Single cylinder? Fantastic. You don't need to go out and buy yourself a 1000cc Super Sport for daily riding. Yes, some people love them, but you don't need one. I'm not saying they're unnecessary. They kind of are. You don't need one. You can get one if you want one. Don't think I'm saying that. But, hey man, give the little bikes a chance. Now, if your friend bought themselves a little 400 and you have a leader bike, there's no reason to shit on them because they bought a smaller bike. Be happy they're riding with you, man. The ego riding of the motorcycle sort of community is a problem for more reasons than we'd like to admit. Because one, we try and encourage more and more people to get into riding. We don't want to try and convince them to get the fastest thing since sliced bread. Or the best thing since sliced bread, I believe the saying is. Look, man, you can buy yourself a fast bike, that's fine. But if your friend's just getting into riding, especially in America where this is a bit more common because you can't do that in Australia, you don't need to go out and buy the fastest thing you can buy for the money you have. Buy yourself something you can comfortably learn on, because if you just started riding and you want to get yourself an R1 or a Gixxer 1000, you're an idiot. You can do it. I'm not going to stop you, especially in America where it's legal. I'm just saying it's not wise, okay? You don't need something with 180 horsepower plus to ride comfortably. You can absolutely ride yourself a 321cc R3 and you'll be fine. you won't even need technically to upgrade. We all want to because a little bit more power is fun. Like 100 to 120 horsepower on street riding bikes is the most you'll ever need, okay? You don't need anything over really even 80 horsepower. You don't technically need anything over like 50-ish horsepower. That's enough. You can get by on 40, 50 horsepower and have no issues on the road. If your speed limits go up to like 90 miles an hour, then you might find these little engines a little bit more problematic. Then like maybe a 650cc will be enough. But in every other part of the world where the speed limit sticks to about 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour, you're never going to need a bigger engine than this. Now, the reason I keep making these videos about these things is because what happens is we have a lot of people in the bike community that keep going, you need the fast bike, you need this, because they keep watching people on YouTube that do faster and faster things. Not me, I'm a good boy, but then they get, oh, I want to do that. I can do this. I'm a good boy. I can ride fast too. When you buy a faster bike, when you accelerate faster than normal, your problems also come closer to you faster. So if you accelerate out of an intersection and someone pulls out, on a smaller bike, you won't go there as fast. On a bigger bike, you'll get there faster. So if someone's pulling out, you're closer to them already. Yes, the brakes are better, but then your chance of flipping forward are also higher because usually the faster bikes have more intense brakes. If you have a smaller bike, you won't even need to slam the brakes on because you'll see it coming before you get there. Okay? That's just my 2 cents on that matter. But the issue is we have so many people getting into riding and we're trying so hard to convince them to get the faster bike, the next faster thing. Why? What are we doing? Are you trying to run from police? Maybe. If you're doing that, stop. Stop trying to make more people doing stupid shit. Because the more people that do stupid shit and run from police, the more accidents we'll end up having, the more bikers go down, the more, the laws get changed because of this. Why do so many people complain that the cops are pricks to them? Probably because a lot of bikers run away or do stupid shit, popping wheelies in front of cops, speeding away from police. Now, if you're the good boy in a group ride and everyone else speeds off and you stop, you'll probably still get in trouble for something, even if you're doing nothing wrong. Why? Because everyone else around you is doing something stupid. Now, I'm not saying that stupid things don't happen on smaller bikes. People on small bikes do hoon shit all the time. I mean, look at the Grom squads. I'm just saying, when you have a bigger bike, the chance of you doing something stupid goes up because speeding is just an easy flick of the wrist. An R1 will hit like 160 kilometers an hour in first gear. This bike stops at 171 kilometers an hour, full stop. So if your bike hits this bike's top speed in first gear, you're probably going to want to keep going. Oh, it's only 200 kilometers an hour. I'm only in second, third gear. I've got 3 more. So all I'm saying is don't clown on people who want a smaller bike because they're happy riding, all right? When I bought this, I got clowned on because it's a cruiser bike, even though when I ended up actually going for a ride with the people who clowned on me, I was the faster rider out of all of them, even though they had sports bikes, but that's another story. Don't let people's egos and, down-putting on you make you make a bad decision because you're happy with your bike to begin with, and then they give you shit. So I know of a guy, he follows me, he had a Honda Rebel, and all of his mates used to give him shit for buying a cruiser all the time. Now he sold it and bought a Gixxer 600. He wasn't fully licensed. I don't even think he's fully licensed still. So he technically can't ride it, but he does. What's the problem with that one? I don't know, man. Maybe it's the fact that now that people talk shit about him. Now he got rid of a bike he enjoyed and bought a bike he's legally not allowed to ride faster with other people who have that mentality. Sure, he's having a good time now, but the chance of things going wrong now exponentially increase because of the stupidity of other people. Don't be so small-minded that someone else's opinions of you or your bike change your way of riding. If that was the case, I would have sold this ages ago and bought myself a real clapped-out 600, okay? I know what I sort of want from my riding and how I ride. I don't need to prove anything to anybody, so I'm more than happy to buy myself something slower. I like cruisers. A lot of people who ride bikes clown on cruisers because of the people that ride cruisers are usually deserving of it, let's be honest, but I'm happy. I could buy myself an R1 and be comfortable and ride it legally. And then people are like, oh, that's a cool bike. And then let's race. And you go, yeah, I don't want to. All right. And then they'll clown you for being slow and scared. Once you sort of get into the sphere, you know what kind of riders and what kind of bikes they ride. But also, you'll also learn very quickly that you can't please everyone. And something you do will always piss off somebody. You buy a super sport, some guy's going to clown you for buying a crotch rocket. You buy a cruiser, someone's going to clown on you for buying, as they say, the gay bikes. Which, grow up. For one, some people, like myself, just want to be on a bike. We want to ride. We don't care where we ride. We don't care how fast we get there. When you go out in the twisties, I like looking at the scenes. I don't need to be going as fast as I can. And then, I've seen on my last subscriber ride, there there was a whole bunch of Panigale V4 SP2s behind me and M1000 not naked bikes, adventure bikes. I forget what model they are. But I let them all pass me, and I can keep up with them. And guess what? The Panigale, he low-sided and went into a trench because too much money, not enough skills. Probably should have bought himself something a bit slower. Stop being influenced by other people and their own stupidity that you make a bad decision that's either going to cost you money or health, all right? If you come off a bike going fast and if you're not good enough to handle this, it's going to be a bad day. We've all seen that video of the guy on Instagram where he was flying down the road and he went to the back of a ute, all right? It was an Aussie bloke. He went to the back of a ute going like 130 kilometers an hour. He's a vegetable now. He survived, but I bet you he wish he didn't. That's how bad the repercussions of this accident were. Because he crashed, he's no longer able, I think he's fully like quadriplegic or something now from what I hear. It could be wrong, but those aren't unheard of things. Like I heard of a story from my mate's dad who was a policeman. And he saw this guy who used to build bikes. He went down the road without a helmet. He went fast. The brakes didn't work. He crashed. He went over a garden bed full of rocks. He was and now he can move his eye. And that's about all he can move. So don't be influenced by people and what they want, because they want to ride fast. They want to do stupid shit. If you're comfortable riding something small and slow and legal, your chances of having an accident exponentially drop. We've all watched moto stars and bike crashes. And what do we notice about them? Half the time, probably not. In fact, probably I'd say 80% of the crashes in those videos are easily avoidable because the biker, although we all clown on bikers' fault, it is. If you're not speeding everywhere and you're not riding a bike that's too big for you that makes you want to speed, the chances of crashing go down. And like I said, you see them. Watch the videos. And I'm telling you, half the time they're gunning it everywhere. I like to accelerate, but I accelerate to the speed limit. And stop, they keep going. So if it's like a 40 mile an hour zone, they're doing 60, 70 miles an hour, and then they get mad someone cut them off or came out of a driveway. Remember, boys and girls, if a road is a certain speed, people are expecting the vehicles to be that speed, so they turn out because they know that's how much time they have to go. But if you're going double the speed limit, their conception of time is wrong. So they'll turn out thinking that you're going to be a little bit longer, but you're gunning it and you'll probably hit them or you might be close. And then they get mad and punch a mirror. You know what mentality you're adopting? Cyclist mentality. Don't you bloody do it, fucking. I don't want to see any of you bikers getting mad because of your own stupidity, all right? That's just my take on the issue. So stop clowning on people for wanting a smaller bike and riding more sensibly. Just because you like going fast and stupid, even if they're your mate, let them be. As long as they are happy on a bike, they can follow the law. You don't have to follow the law. But don't make other people do stupid shit because you think it's not the right thing to do. That's all I'm saying, man. Let people ride how they want to ride and ride your own ride. Don't be mad if someone rides with you with a small bike. Say your mate bought a Honda Rebel and you've got a Gixxer 1000. Just be happy he's riding with you. Sure, he might take a bit longer to get places, especially if you're speeding everywhere, but who cares? As long as you both get there alive and happy. That's all that matters. It's annoying, man. It's annoying. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this issue. So take it easy. Keep it cheesy. If you have any comments or opinions, leave them down below. I'll happily read them along. I'm not going to be mad about them. Everyone can have an opinion. That's the joys of life. Otherwise, subscribe. And, yeah, like I said, leave a comment down below. Peace. Bye.